Welcome, listener, to another episode of The Working Hour with Mike and Shane, a WHMS radio style podcast. I'm Mike, and across the table from me sits my best friend and co host, Shane. Go ahead and say something, Shane, and let people know what you sound like.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. It means a lot, and we are happy to have you with us for another episode of The Working Hour, a WHMS style radio podcast. I think I butchered that, but that's okay.
This is your first listen. What we do here is we go through an album track by track and give you our thoughts and feelings with an overall score, 1 through 5. We also showcase a bonus track at the end of the album. So we alternate each week, album choice and bonus track. This is my week, and we are going to be doing the album 16 Stone by Bush, as you know, you can read. That is the title of this week's episode. And Shane will be doing the bonus track selection. Go ahead and tell us the bonus we're going to be covering.
We are going to be doing the song All the Debts I Owe by Camp. At least I believe it's Camp. It's Camp with two A's from some local boys, Upper Arlington, respect.
Of Ohio.
Of Ohio.
We should point out we are out of Ohio.
Yeah.
We will conclude this week's episode with next week's agenda, which will be Shane's album pick and my bonus. With all that being said, let's start the show.
Let's get into it.
So yeah, this week, 16 Stone, which is the debut studio album by English rock band Bush. I have a little bit of a discretion. Yeah, debut.
That's a good debut.
They really knocked it out of the park with this one. Yeah, this was a good debut. I have like a little bit of a concern with the release date. I have it as November 1st. I also saw on Spotify it had a different date, but I did read that Everything Zen was released to radio in 1994 before the album was actually released. There's a radio station, KROQ, which started playing Everything Zen alongside Little Things before radio stations like other radio stations did. As a result, 16 Stone, which was scheduled to be released in January of 1995, which I believe it was released in 1995 in the UK. But in America, it was released in November of 1994. The album cover is kind of neat. It's a little different. It features like a cryptic binary code and an unusual, for the third time, shadow on the eye, with the title referring to a real person's weight, 224 pounds, is 16 stones, which is kind of neat. I guess it's a story about a catfish where I guess someone got catfished. I don't know, which I find a weird term by someone who weighed
in 94.
That's what I read, but take that for what it's worth with a grain of salt. But it is definitely like an iconic album. I also read that someone decoded it and it says 16 stone, but I didn't find that anywhere else, so I believe that's like crock. But It makes me want to kind of believe, but I don't know how to do binary. Neither do you.
Sure.
Do you ever see that skit in Family Guy where they're like 010 001 10110?
No, I've only ever seen Pluribus where they're like, it's binary. No, it's not binary. It's quaternary. No, it's something else. Anyway.
Pluribus, good show. Family Guy, good show too.
Yeah.
Family Guy, bet. No, I'm just kidding. Pluribus, better. The genre, got multiple genres here. Grunge, post-grunge, hard rock, which those are fitting. There's probably more it would dive into, but I think that's 3 good genres to classify the album in. The overall length I have here is 52 minutes, 38 seconds. The lyrical themes kind of got a little bit of a judgment just because there's a lot of masculine stereotypes with a little bit of, I read terrorism on the Wikipedia, which I could see. You have a track called Bomb, and it's pretty aggressive. The members of Bush, we have Gavin Rosedale, lead vocals, rhythm guitar. I'm probably going to butcher some of these names, so go ahead and comment. Tell us how to pronunciate them right. We have Nigel Pulsford on lead guitar, backing vocals. Dave Parsons on bass. Now that's an easy name I can pronounce. Dave Parsons, my guy. And then we have Robin
my guy.
Goodridge, not Goodbridge, Goodridge on drums. The album boasts 5 singles, which, I mean, if you're a fan of Bush, if you haven't been living under a rock since the mid-90s, you would know pretty much every one of these. We have Everything Zen, which was the first single. Little Things, the second single. Come Down, the third. Glycerine, the fourth. And Machine Head, the fifth.
It's better than the rest, some would say.
Yeah, green to red. 16 Stone was pretty good. It first entered the Billboard 200 at number 187, kind of on the tail end, ending January of 1995, and it peaked at number 4. In 2010, which is kind of crazy, it's 16 years ago, The album peaked, it passed the 6 million mark. So I'm sure it's probably went up, but then again, not that many people are buying physical media. It's kind of a dying breed, but it is slowly coming back. I mean, me and you both occasionally do buy some physical media, so there is that. I do not have anything else to add. Do you have any little tidbits of information?
Dude, I have nothing.
Zilch.
No, it was. I'm coming off the nicotine,
Hey,
so I was just like, I'm getting these notes done.
That's fine. Usually it falls on whoever is presenting the album.
And you did good.
Their responsibility. I appreciate that. Well, with that being said, let's get on to track number 1.
Everything's Zen.
Everything's Zen, the first single. 4 minutes, 38 seconds as the runtime. So I have it's a very heavy distorted guitar on the intro. That's a common theme throughout the album. Like, I'm probably going to beat that dead horse with that wordage. And it's kind of like an overdriven guitar, too. It's just very loud, scratchy, screechy. It kind of mellows out, though, when Gavin's vocals do come in. So, fun fact, my dad had a compilation CD from MTV back in the day. It was called MTV's Buzz Band. I think it was the second version. You'd have to do a little bit of research, but it's actually got a really good track listing. Fortunately, the CD did crack, so it's no longer usable. That happened a long time ago, but it's solid, and this was on it. I believe it was track 6 when I looked it up on Google. But I remember hearing it as a young kid and being like, this is pretty good, but it also kind of scared me because it was kind of aggressive.
Sure.
And then that No Sex in Your Violence just being repeated over and over again. I was like, this is a little uncomfortable.
Sex and violence.
And it's like 2 things I do not like.
Yeah.
But, you get a little older, you're like, violence is...
I'm
still a little... Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
A little physical,
Yeah.
That's all right. But yeah, the song carries an amazing amount of energy. And really, like, me and you both have listened to this album plenty of times, but actually, like, revisiting it, it's probably been years since I've listened to it cover to cover. I mean, probably 5 or 6 years. It was solid, and it's well written and solid. The lyrics, Mickey Mouse is growing up a cow and On Sale Again, are taken from David Bowie's 1971 song Life on Mars, which I thought was kind of neat. Because originally I was going to put, like, it references Mickey Mouse, but apparently that is from a David Bowie song. It also references Tom Waits, Rain Dogs, Howl for the Century, Jane's Addiction, Ted, Just Admit It, There's No Sex in Your Violence, Alice in Chains, Would, Try to See It Once My Way.
Okay.
Which is, some of those are kind of a stretch. And then also the Elvis Presley conspiracy theory with the sighting of Elvis. I don't believe that Elvis is dead.
I don't believe Elvis is dead. Yeah,
which is crazy. I was listening to that today, and I'm like, if you want to just listen to, we did a episode of just covers, and Shane did the
Unchained Melody.
Unchained Melody, and it was from Elvis's the last performance.
His final one.
And it's like, dude, I think he did die. I mean, if not,
you see him in that.
I've seen his acting, not the greatest,
sure.
And I don't think he was acting that out. If he was, good for him.
Yeah.
There also is a little bit of irony in the song. Everything's Zen. I don't think so. Kind of ironic, suggesting that things are far from peaceful, or like any stage of enlightenment. With that being said, also anti-materialism. $1 million stake. It kind of focuses excessive amount of wealth and consumerism in the 90s, which is like a big thing. Like, you had the big electronic boom in the 90s and just people buying a lot of shit. The song kind of acts as like a sarcastic commentary with that just everything's Zen where everything is not Zen. But I think it's timeless because, like I said, I hadn't listened to this album in a long time. Even like Bush doesn't really come across anything I listen to most days. So I think a lot of people don't really listen to music on the radio so much. You would definitely hear one of these songs on the radio. But for me, I don't really listen to the radio. But I thought it's just timeless in the fact that it's 2026 and the song still, with that being said, the theme of Everything's Zen, which it's really not, because I think it's still a relevant theme. And also just anti-materialism. There's so much of that in the world nowadays. I'll get out of here on this one with my overall score. Pretty high on this one. 4.5 out of 5. I really forgot how good the track was.
Damn. All right. So I got I have some quick electric guitar to open, followed by a droning swell of instrumentation that really hits about 12 seconds in. The vocals hit as the bass guitar and the drums are the only instrumentation during the first bit of lyrics. There must be something. There must be something we can eat. Maybe find another lover. Should I fly to Los Angeles? Find my asshole brother. It's like, was his brother an asshole? Is that it?
Find my brother's asshole.
It's like, find a guy whose asshole is just like mine. We're asshole brothers. Does he even have a brother? I don't know.
Yeah. Just how much research we do.
Yeah. The electric guitar comes back in as the song builds to its chorus. Try to see it once my way. Everything's zen, everything's zen. I don't think so. I like how the electric guitar squeals coming off the chorus. The quieter instrumentation on the verses gives the vocals the spotlight. This is contrasted really well on the chorus when the instruments are just on full display. The transition from verse to the second chorus works really well with the more aggressive delivery of "No sex in your voice, just me one." Like that, it's the whole thing. As it leads into try to see what's my way. Anyway. At 2:44, there is a musical breakdown. It starts to become quieter around 3:02 before the vocals come back at 3:21 with the final chorus. I mean, it's a very solid, high energy opening track, and just giving us a single right out the gate.
Cool. The first release single, yeah. First song on the album.
First album.
Debut album, yeah.
Sweet.
The 90s were fantastic.
Interesting time.
Yeah.
Like this.
Musically, yeah.
Thinking like this and 10 from Pearl Jam was also 90s, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pearl Jam's 10 and Nirvana Nevermind were weeks apart from each other.
92?
Yeah, I think maybe 91.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Keep talking. I'll look it up.
I gotcha. But yeah, fucking Pearl Jam, first album, fucking killer. I would imagine, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to say Shot from the Hip.
It was 91, so
okay,
early 90s.
I'm going to say Alice in Chains' fucking first album was probably a banger too, if I had to guess. And I know this one's a little, later on.
Facelift was their debut, and it was 1990 for Alice in Chains.
Gotcha. Hell yeah. Anyway, this isn't about all those other bands. It's about Bush. I thought this was
Bush.
This about fucking great opening track. I didn't go as high as you did. Not nearly as high, but still I went good score. I gave this a 3.7 out of 5.
Okay.
So, it's good. But I'm not, Yeah. All right, on to track number 2. We have Swim coming in at 4 minutes and 55 seconds. There's a scratchy electric guitar to start, followed up with additional electric guitar and drums. The guitar is pulled back with this sharp metallic twang from the guitar before Gavin comes in on vocals alongside the drums and bass guitar. The vocals are soft and understated, growing more and more emotive as the instrumentation starts to slowly pick up. Could not believe. Came here today. The helmet was on, you blew me away. We are only 2 songs in, but I really appreciate the moments when the band kind of pulls back a little bit.
And Gavin kind of shines.
Yeah, I feel like he can kind of command the song pretty well with his vocals.
Well, he also plays guitar too, which I kind of totally forgot about that.
Yeah, his vocal delivery is very emotive, and it makes for some great intimate moments. This leads into the chorus. I want to be just like you. I want to feel right through you. Want to feel right through you. The next verse has some really brief, punchy moments from the guitar coming off as almost erratic, but it does serve to kind of emphasize some of the lyrics. Thinning ice, 14 hair dryers. I'm swimming to you. Flame on earth desire. Coming off the second chorus, the music slows down again to the drum and bass with vocals from earlier, with the inclusion of the erratic guitar bits as well. At 4:05, Money Talks the guitar is shredding and the drums are going off in this crescendo as Gavin repeats, growing more and more aggressive with each delivery. Uh, you give and you give and you give, you give and you give and you give, you give and you give and you give. Like, the album does get like kind of repetitive with some of its vocals at points, but like
it doesn't get stale.
It doesn't get stale, and he doesn't like Gavin doesn't hold back. It doesn't seem like he's phoning it in.
There's a lot of energy and everything.
In like certain parts, it's like he's just like, okay, how high can I take this repeatedly, or how long can I just like hold out this note? And he fucking does really good. I even put like, not to spoil like later on, but there is a song where I'm just like, it kind of fucking hurts my fucking throat to think about singing it like that. You know what I mean? But song ends with some vocalization and final beats from the drum. I like the quieter, moody moments, and then some of the more like wild, in-your-face moments. They contrast really well together. This did make my like songs. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay, we're pretty close on this one. Yeah, so similar to track 1, the guitar is similar, and also the intro is similar in the fact, like you touched on it, they kind of pull back musically, and you kind of just get Gavin's vocals. It's not near as heavy or as aggressive as Everything Zen, but Everything Zen is a very high energy track. But there is points where the guitar and the percussion, it does get heavy. Vocally, it's not as intense, vocally it is just as intense, especially on that last verse with the screaming that you touched on. It's a solid song with a nice vocal showcase of Gavin's, where it kind of separates itself from Everything Zen. You can easily tell. I mean, hindsight is 2020, and I was not alive when this album came out, so I'm looking at it all from hindsight. But I could kind of separate the two and tell why Everything Zen is a single. But this song almost has like a little bit more depth to it because it's not. I haven't probably heard it as much. That's probably a lot of it. Like you said, it made it to your liked songs, and it's definitely worthy of that. It's a great song, and it doesn't fall off off a cliff compared to track 1, being the first release single. I did read in a couple places people comparing Gavin's sound and just Bush's overall sound to Nirvana. And it's kind of noticeable on this one. Now, I'm not talking Nirvana, Nevermind. I'm thinking more In Utero, which I don't know if you've ever listened to In Utero cover to cover.
I don't think so.
It's way different than Nevermind for sure.
Okay.
But the screaming on the end of this track.
Would you say that like Nevermind is like really different from Bleach?
No. Okay. I would say Bleach and In Utero are probably closer together than Nevermind. Nevermind is very poppy when you sit down and really analyze it, which hearing that it sounds goofy, but once
you hear it, you're like,
yeah, it's very pop and very like catchy. But yeah, I definitely make the connection between Kurt and Gavin's vocals on this, which is crazy because they're so far apart where they grew up and all that. And it's not like they sound exactly the same, but there is another song where I mention it where I could see Kurt doing something similar, especially with like just the In Utero sound. The song does, like you said, it utilizes quite a bit of repetition, but it's noticeable theme throughout the album, and it was present in track 1, but not as much as I noticed it here. I noticed it a lot more here. The main repetition here is I want to be just like you. I want to feel right through you. I want to see just with you. I want to die. I want to live you. The last verse is more intense with it repeating, you give and you give and you give. And that's the screaming verse, especially kind of as it fades out. That really reminded me of something I would hear Kurt Cobain sing in that kind of way. Like I said, it really does kind of remind me of something you'd hear off of In Utero. And I can definitely see the similarities. Overall, it's solid. It's hard for any track to kind of match the energy coming off of Everything Zen, and I gave Everything Zen a pretty high score. It's probably my favorite single. I'd have to actually look and compare it everything, but it's probably my go-to. I gave this a 3.3 out of 5, so we're pretty close on that one.
Okay.
Moving on to track number 3, we have Bomb at 3 minutes 23 seconds. So again, common theme here. Like I said, probably going to beat this one into the ground. Distorted guitar on the intro, but a little prettier on this one with subtle percussion. And the main guitar riff is a little softer too. The vocals are kind of delivered a little softer, with the music kind of a little quieter too. It's a little bit of a different approach on the front half of the track compared to the end. Around 110, the music really gets heavy, and we're back to that typical heavy sound. But it kind of yo-yos back and forth to the soft sound, and then we get the heavy. Um, and it, like I said, it just kind of bounces around. The 110 mark is kind of the icebreaker with the verse. Um, Wish you were here, see how I feel. Oh, kill a man. Oh, kill a girl. Which is weird because I honestly, for the longest time, thought it was I killed a man, I killed a girl. Like I always misinterpreted the lyrics.
Okay.
It's very heavy and it's very aggressive. It's probably one of the more aggressive lyrics so far. Which there's no sex in your violence. It's kind of aggressive, especially the way it's delivered. But this one I thought carried a little bit more of a heavy energy vibe to it. Um, but it's also a track titled Bomb. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of comes with the expectation. The final verse of the Oh, kill a man, oh, kill a girl, it switches to I killed a man, I killed a man. And it repeats that 3 times in total. And then the final verse, you say you want to change our minds. I paid for your belief with mine. Of all the bravest stands in time, you stoop so low, you'll never rise. I like that. It really sends the song out on a high note. I don't have a whole lot for this one. Um, but it's that last verse kind of polished it up for me. I think it's mostly just with Gavin's delivery, which he's an excellent vocalist. I didn't go too crazy high on this one. This one dropped off a little bit compared to the previous track. I gave this a 3.1. It's nothing that knocked my socks off, but it's still solid high energy, and it fits the album perfectly. I don't know if perfectly is the right word, but it fits the album just fine.
Okay. Would you give it?
3-1.
3-1. Okay, I'm a little higher on this. Yeah, moody electric guitar to open, followed by additional guitar, drums, and bass, and surprisingly, there's like a little bit of strings in there too, just a little bit. The vocals come in and are probably the most like slow and downtrodden so far off the album. Wanted to buy you shiny red things, thought I'd be with you until the end. How did I know that I would be there? Blow me away, see if I care. Moody really is the best description of the slower moments on this song. This again brings us back to the slower, quiet moments, contrasted by the loud, more abrasiveness of the chorus. Oh, kill man, oh, kill girl, oh, kill man, oh, kill girl. The distortion on the guitars brings us like back into the verses. Gavin repeats, um, starts to repeat. I killed a man. I killed a man. I killed a man. His delivery becoming more and more loud and strained on his vocals, to the point that it almost hurts my
Like you were
vocal
talking
cords
earlier,
to hear
yeah. No,
this. Yeah,
he's got crazy range.
he goes for it. He doesn't hold back, which like fucking good on him. I feel like Gavin he's a little underrated in the sense of like taking his vocals that far. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's like shit, go off, dude. I don't have anything else. It's I feel like this didn't really like overstay its welcome because it's not even 3.5 minutes long. I give this a 6.5 or a 6 point no, sorry, 3.6 out of 5.
I was like, that is like an 11.
Getting used to
the new score. I'm not gonna lie. When I first did a couple of notes, I was like,
yeah,
oh, fuck,
I
I
had to
gotta
catch
go back
myself.
I gotta go back and re-edit this.
But a 3.6 out of 5.
Okay.
So it was solid.
Yeah, it's the little things.
It's little things. Track number 4. It's a single coming in at 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Cymbals and rapid drumming and electric guitar open the song. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Offspring.
I can see that.
Yeah. Similar,
like self-esteem.
Yeah.
The
exactly.
drumming. Yeah, no, now that you say that, nail on the head.
Like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know exactly. Damn, I need to check out now.
Fucking might have to do the Offspring
might have to do it.
So, this song, right out the gate, is definitely more high energy. From what we've heard from Bush, especially this being the first album of theirs, like
debut.
All right, they're going for it. Like high energy, I like it. Even when the instrumentation pulls back, the vocals and the drum beat maintain a very steady and upbeat pace to the song. I bleach the sky every night, loaded on wrong and further from right. come off the verses, the guitar comes back. It comes back in and becomes more prominent before spinning out into the chorus. It's a little things that kill, tearing at my brain again. I particularly like the line, "Summer is winter, and you always knew." At 228, there is a solid little bit of guitar shredding and rapid drumming with Gavin repeating, little, 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 before the vocals come back in proper at 301 with some pretty angry and pointed lyrics. I trust your mouth more than I'll eat its food. Addicted to love, addicted to bullshit. I kill you once, I'll kill you again. I kill you once, I'll kill you again. The soft and the crude welcome my friend. This takes us to the final chorus and outro. This song doesn't waste your time at all. It follows a pretty strict verse to chorus.
Tight,
yeah, it's tight and it doesn't let off the gas really at all. Yeah, its structure has some brief instrumental sections without ever just letting off the gas at all. I give this a 3.8 out of 5.
Oh!
Well, you get one higher than it.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Much higher.
And I will elaborate on that. So I will consider, I still do, even though I think after looking at my notes, I think I do prefer Everything Zen a little bit
3.8
more.
ain't bad.
No, it's not. I think we're both adjusting to the new scale.
Sure.
This is the first episode where we've done the new. We used to do 1 out of 10, and that was just such a wide net. So we're down to 1.5. So we're still. I feel like I was just getting my feet under me with the other score, really locking it down.
Yeah.
And we switched it.
Okay.
And that was my suggestion. So I should be mad at myself if anything.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah, damn you, Mike.
Nail it down.
I consider Little Things to be one of my all-time favorites. And it was probably the first favorite. I know I talked about Everything Zen on the opening track being on that CD my dad had, the MTV Buzz bin. But this was the one that I remember listening to on the bus as a kid, probably in junior high and the MP3 days. And just really getting down to this track, especially on the drumming.
You ever had the fucking MP3 that was shaped like a flash drive, so it could just
I didn't. I had a pretty nice one. I never had one of those, but I remember seeing those.
Yeah, that was some broke boy shit.
I'm not gonna lie. Back in the no, it was
it's okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I did kind of have the bougie one because I remember the thumbnail one, you're talking about. It's
yeah.
What's that got 1 gig on it? Yeah. I'm over here with 4 gig, bro.
Damn it.
But mine was an MP. I had a Sony Walkman MP3/MP4 player.
Sure.
And it could do videos and movies and shit like that. But no, this was probably the first track of Bush that I really remember really getting down to. And it's the first track that really showcases percussion as kind of the driving force, not so much guitar. Or the first 3 tracks, there's plenty of drumming, plenty of percussion that would lead to the drop in, the swelling of the overall music sound. But there's a lot more drumming on this one that kind of takes the spotlight. But especially the drumming leading in with the main power chord riff on the delivery of It's the Little Things That Kill. That right there is just, I don't know, it's very high energy, and I'll go ahead and say, I'm changing my mind just now that I'm thinking about it. It is a little better, I think, than Everything Zen. I have a article here from 2017 with Song Facts. Gavin Rossdale explained the song's inspiration. The lyrical inspiration was a simple realization that the whole thing about don't be letting the details get you down. I was always feeling encumbered by life, and overtaken by life, and dwarfed by life. And my feelings and my paranoia and my worries were larger than anything else. So there was always that pain to try to keep all those worries at bay. And this is just a song about paranoia for the future and the paranoia of life. I think it has something to do with trying to be so strong in the face of adversity. Overall, I really like this one, and I understand why it was the second single 100%. I gave this just a smidge higher score than I did Everything Zen, literally just by a 10th. I give this a 4.6 out of 5.
All right.
A little high on this one, yeah.
Respect.
But I really did enjoy the album. And I touched on it last week, and we haven't touched on it I'm not going to let my other cat out of the bag because I'm curious to see when you say it. But I did buy 2 physical copies of this album because I was at a secondhand store, Half Price Books here in Ohio, and they had Bush 16 Stone on the clearance rack for $1, and I couldn't not buy it for $1. So
I don't blame you.
Yeah, no,
I would have too.
Yeah, I mean for $1, it's like
that's a fucking steal.
Money's never been great, but I can afford $1.
I remember even like back in the day being like, it's like man, this fucking CD ain't selling for more than like $6. But like I was like, motherfucking Mike, he got it for $1.
And I don't know why. Part of me, because I don't have both copies now, so I'm thinking one was scratched or something. Didn't play all the way through. But anyways, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back. We left off right with track number 5, Come Down. It's a longer song. I have the runtime as 5 minutes, 27 seconds. So I have a little context here with the song about Gavin. He wrote the song about an ex-girlfriend, stating it was written in the context of half regret, half celebration, and just being objective about the situation of coming down from that high and dealing with those intense emotions. He also added, I like the idea of euphoria, but having euphoria has a come down. It's inside your brain, and it just says, I'm having a great time, and I don't want it to stop, but most of the time people lose that zone, and it changes, and you're like, no, I didn't want this, and that's such a common feeling. I watched it being sung every night. It's one of the songs where I can step back and let the people sing. It's the best feeling in the world as a songwriter. And it's a very solid track. I have a little note later that comes up in the show, but in 2006, CBC used this song as their it was in their closing montage of the Stanley Cup playoffs, which I think is kind of fitting because it's like, yeah, you win like the Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl, whatever, any big sporting event, any big achievement, I could totally see where this song would be fitting. I really like the verse though, just love and hate, get it wrong, she coming right back down to size, sleep the day, let it fade. Who is there to take your place? No one knows. She don't know
the words to this
fucking song. No. But it's very iconic with its delivery. You're fine. It happens. It's a very upbeat song. And it's positive in my mind. Like I've never really listened to the song, and I've always put it in that mindset of, yeah, it's got some euphoria feels to it. But it's not anything negative. I've never looked at it. I could see where it would be kind of bittersweet because eventually, yeah, you are going to have to come down and, back to reality. But it's always been more of a happy feeling song to me, and it's something I feel like a lot of people can relate to because, God willing, like I hope everybody listening to this, I know me and you both have, but you have moments where it's like it's a peak human experience. And I think that's kind of what this song is. And I think it's a very well written song. It's a very relatable song. I didn't give it a crazy high score, but I still it's in the 4s. I gave it a 4.1.
Okay, we're close.
And it's a solid single too, I might add.
It is. The bass and drums are a standout at the start of the song as the guitar slowly becomes more and more prominent before the drop hits at 48 seconds in. The vocals shortly follow, and they are the angsty softness. They have an angsty softness to them that kind of grows more and more before the chorus. Love and hate, get it wrong, she cut me right back down to size. Sleep the day, let it fade. Who's there to take your place? I do find that the contrast between verse and chorus on this song is kind of refreshing, as the chorus has a sincerity to it and is definitely more positive. I don't want to come back down from this cloud. It's taken me all this time to find out what I need. Yeah. At 3:13 or 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Shoot up, shoot up, shoot up, you're high. The music and the guitars spiral down as Gavin comes back in. Like more dire on this verse before the final chorus. The ending of the song repeats, why did you? And I don't want to come back down from this cloud. This cloud. this cloud, this cloud, this cloud. Before the guitar rings out and winds down for the last 20 or so seconds of the song. I mean, the song is a banger. I can see why it's a single. Kind of nice to have a song that delves a little bit more into a positive feeling as opposed to something.
There's not a lot on the album that's really positive.
Yeah, and especially up to this point, this is like the first thing where I'm like, all right, something a little bit lighter. All right,
I don't want to tear out my brains again.
Yeah. On to track number 6. We have Body.
What was the rating on that? I don't think you gave a rating.
3.9 out of 5.
Okay. We're close. We were close on that one.
Yeah, you had 4.1, 3.9. We're close. Track number 6, we have Body, coming in at 5 minutes and 42 seconds. There's some clear lone guitar that opens the song. The additional guitars start to swell before it and the drums really drop in. The hush, child, lay your sweet lips on me. This greed is bigger than you and me. Will you come again, Body? There's a exacerbated delivery to hush, child. Gavin sounds like almost exhausted when he sings it. The bass is solid, and I also enjoy the hum of the guitar on the verses. The song has an almost funky sound to it on the verses before getting more heavy on the chorus. Will you come again? Will we stay friends? Oh, you paralyze. Oh, you paralyze. I noticed some backing vocals on the verse. Your child is on fire. Your child is on fire. The chorus has the vocals getting more extreme and emotive in their delivery as Gavin really starts to belt it out. Will you come again? Will we stay friends? At 3:44, the music slows before building back up at 3:55, leading into some guitar shredding that becomes like faint and distorted before going into one final chorus. To me, the most impressive part of the song is some of the guitar work, and there's a lot of solid moments with the guitars on this. In the way that Gavin drags out Will We Stay at the very end of the song. It has good moments. I appreciate those moments more than I appreciate the song as a whole. I only gave this a 3.2 out of 5.
Okay, we're in the same ballpark for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a long runtime, and I think maybe that could take away a little bit of your enjoyment of the song.
Yeah, it's almost 6 minutes. It's like you're asking a lot.
Yeah, it is. And it does kind of change its feel a little bit over the 5 3/4 minute runtime. But the majority of what I read, kind of jumping ship here, but the majority of what I read on the internet, that this song is kind of like a lot of people interpret it as being very sexual oriented, which I could see. I mean, it's a song called Body. Will I come again? Will we stay friends? I could see it. I've always just kind of appreciated it more for just its energy, and I've never really looked into it or thought a lot about it, but I definitely see that tie into that, the sexual innuendos. Wash us all away, body never lies. Will you come again? Will we stay friends? Oh, you paralyze. Oh, you paralyze. I really like the delivery of "Oh, you paralyze," especially with the guitar, and it's very nice how it kind of holds on, and it kind of gets better as the song goes on with more and more energy as it's repeated throughout the song, with the last verse being delivered on it's very quietly delivered before exploding with like a high amount of energy. I don't have a whole lot for this one either, which is crazy because it is the second longest, I want to say, song on the album. But I am in the same boat as you. The guitar is a standout on this track, and it's always doing something, whether it's Gavin on lead guitar or the other fella. I'm not going to scroll up, but they have two guys just wailing on guitar at all times. But this was definitely one of the ones where stand out. It's a solid track in its own right, but it's not something I would seek out all the time. I do kind of consider it a little bit of a hidden gem, but it's really just that "Oh You Paralyze" with the guitar that really hooks it into me, and it did make my like songs. I'm not crazy about it, I think, just because it is such a long runtime, but it definitely has, like you said, parts of it where it's very good. I gave this just a 3.5. So fairly close on that one.
Close enough.
And that will take us to track number 7, Machine Head. I had the runtime at around 4 minutes, 16 seconds. I think this is one of the greatest pump-up songs, pump-up intros, whatever you want to say. It's a solid instrumental for the first 38 seconds, and then we get a slight amount of vocals. But really that first minute is solid. I think you could even go a little bit over the minute mark. Our local professional hockey team here used it as the intro song for a long time. I don't know if you...
Do they not do that anymore?
I don't think they do. I think they've switched the intro song. But I will tell you, I was listening to
Breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah, and it's just like, I remember going to one of the games, and it was around the age where I was talking about having the MP3 player, and I was there with my dad, of course. And I remember, I was like, oh, fuck.
Let's go.
Give me some skates. Let me get out there with the boys. Yeah. This is a hyped up song. But I remember listening to just the TV broadcast of one of the games. Can't remember if it was this year or last year, but it was a road game, and the team that they were playing, I can't remember who it was, they used this as their intro song, and I was like, number one, I was fucking copycats. But it's like,
Thief.
I mean, I can't complain because it's iconic. I mean, that's really one of the best instrumental intros out there. I mean, it's definitely in the list for sure. But like I said, yeah, it goes without saying that it's a very common pump-up song. It's very catchy. Solid writing without. I've always liked the verse, and there's a little bit before it, but tied to a wheel, my fingers got to feel. Bleeding through a tourniquet smile. I spin on a whim. I slide to the right. I felt you like electrical light. I like that line. I felt you like electrical light. That's kind of, I don't know, that's just a neat line. I was thinking about that today, and I'm like, I felt you like electrical light. That's, I don't know. It's different. Like, you're just in the spotlight, I guess. I don't know. It just leads it to a lot of interpretation.
Or do you think it's like an artificial feeling?
Like, yeah, kind of.
Real light.
Yeah, exactly. An electrical light. Along with the green to red, Machine Head, got a machine head. It's better than the rest. The meaning behind Machine Head, while a machine head is a guitar tuning peg. I don't know if you knew that. I didn't know that until
I knew that.
Whenever I wrote this down. Gavin used it to describe a rigid, duty-oriented, or even arrogant mindset. It suggests a better-than-the-rest mentality, yet often feels like a protective, detached shield, or a way to stay focused while feeling overwhelmed. Which I kind of relate to. I feel like sometimes someone will say something to me, and I almost feel attacked because I just feel like I'm better than you, even though it's just like the most minuscule thing, but it's just like something will come off, and you're like, I'm better than the rest. Even though, like, we all have our faults, we all have our things.
Sure.
But I feel like once I read that, I was like, okay, I got a machine head. Like, to me, a machine head is just like a machine, a well-oiled machine. You know what you're doing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're just like sent out to do one thing, and you're going to do that thing to the best of any ability. I think it's a solid track. I gave this it's in the force for me. Really, if you cut the song off at that minute 15 mark, maybe a little bit shorter, I mean, that would be like a 9 out of 10 because it's just the energy it brings. I gave this a 4.3 out of 5. I do dig it.
Okay.
All the singles are right there. I think I gave Everything Zen a 4.4, Little Things a 4.5, and this is a 4.3.
Okay. Yeah, we're not far off. Song has a great energy to it, giving a real feeling of build-up. It's hard to hear the song and not think of the Blue Jackets pregame. Yeah, I mean, I
was wondering when you were chuckling a little bit. I'm like,
yeah,
he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know it's up. The guitar leads into the drums and additional guitars as the pace starts to pick up. The vocals are repetitive prior to the verse. Yeah. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. There's some like skittering guitar that can be heard on the background. Tied to a wheel, a finger's gotta feel, bleeding through a tourniquet smile. I spin on a whim, I slide to the right, I felt you like electric light. At 121, I like the quiet of the instruments and the soft delivery on the refrain of got a machine head, it's better than the rest, green to red, machine head, got a machine head. Like, that sounds really nice. It's very pretty. the way that the vocals go back and forth from one sounding a little bit closer and the other more distant. It just, I don't know, sounds nice. The next verse starts a little bit more intense. The vocals are muffled and distorted. Deaf, dumb, dirty. The chorus this time around does not have the same softness as before. At 2:53, the interlude, I've seen the best minds of my generation. It's a foul ball. I don't know if you caught that. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
It's in the song, and it's like it's just some weird little bit that I'm like, what? It's in there though. Felt like some Faith No More shit. Right
That's when you sang it like that. I'm like,
it's a foul. It's a foul ball.
Yeah, I sweat a lot.
Yeah, I sweat a lot. One more chorus and the bridge before the outro. I walk for my machine. I walk for my machine. This song is one I've heard countless times in the past and can definitely see why it's a single. I appreciated being more analytical upon this listen. Found new things that I just never noticed before. I gave this a flat 4 out of 5. On to track number 8. We have Testosterone, coming in at 4 minutes and 19 seconds. The drum beat opens the song. The guitar shreds briefly before the bass and drums play as Gavin comes in on vocals. I'm a man, real proud of my manhood. I like to smoke 10,000 cigarillos. The heavier guitar has this stop and go to it, coming in short bursts before coming in more consistently as the song goes on to the chorus. Got a big old gun, got a big old bullet, got a big old bullet. Like, that's how I meant to say it the first time.
Got the high point 45?
It's a 9mm, actually, have you know. And I like the part where he's like, and I guess you could say, I'm real full of it, real full of it. The song is pretty tongue-in-cheek with its lyrical content. A handful of the lines got a chuckle out of me. I'm real straight. You want to see my picadillos? Hot dog, 7:30 every morning.
Every morning.
And I'm big into war, big into war, big into war. I shave with Gillette, shave with Gillette, shave with Gillette. So at 2:30, the music gets slowed down and kind of gritty with some vocalization from Gavin, some swelling and shredding of the guitar. Song ends with having yelling, with Gavin yelling as he repeats, I'm real full of it, for the last few deliveries, dying down before it becomes weaker and weaker. This is fine. I feel like this song didn't take itself too seriously.
No.
So I didn't take this song too seriously. I gave this a 3 out of 5.
Okay, we're pretty close. I'm glad. I'm going to elaborate here a little bit. You know, we cover a lot of, if you check the channel out, we've done a lot of female vocalist albums, and it can be hard for us to identify because we're not females, clearly.
Damn it.
But there's a lot of masculinity in this song, and it's still hard to identify with some of it. But it is something that I didn't take very serious, and I'm glad you didn't either.
I just foamed up a little bit.
It was a little Raby action there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something I didn't really identify with, and I think it's a silly song, like you said, tongue-in-cheek. And it's not something I would ever take too serious. That line, though, I shave with Gillette. Shave with the Gillette. So it makes me wonder, one, could you imagine him just like pitching that to the rest of the band? He's like, shave with Gillette.
Fuck Kurt Cobain, turned over in his grave.
Well, I elaborated a little bit on that, too. It's funny you mentioned that. And I kind of wonder, it's like, did he get any money from Gillette? Was it originally like, Barbasol? Yeah. And he's like, no, Gillette was willing to pay me some
of that shit. Shit with the
shit. Yeah, I mean, put whatever you want there.
Get that money.
Yeah, exactly. So it's another track that I do see a little resemblance with Nirvana, especially on the backing of the track. I could totally see Kurt doing something with a similar angle because I feel like he's goofy enough to do something like this. And again, it wouldn't be Nevermind, which I feel like is such a when you say Nirvana, you think of Nevermind, but it's something a little different because I feel like Kurt was kind of a goofy guy. Um, the lyrics like imply a critique of machoism and whatever have you. Just like I said, toxic masculinity. But the guitarist Nigel, who I was talking about earlier, him and Gavin on guitar, and I didn't reference Nigel because I didn't want to scroll up and look for his name. So jack my notes up, and I have to pause more than I'm pausing now to talk about this. But Nigel Paulsford once jokingly mentioned it was about a distant sh- sh- Shizvlakian. How do you say that?
That's all possible.
Shavlakian. I don't know, but a poet, Shesh Navak. I don't know. Anyways, he's a poet who got in a lot of trouble with girls, and that was from Genius. That kind of put that in an article. I like this track. Like I said, it's one that I kind of just got in more the overall the overall sound and the overall vibe. That when he's delivering that verse, got a big old gun, got a big old bullet, got a big old mullet. It's catchy. It's catchy enough, and that's kind of what I've always kind of fell into that rut of and fell into the rut of enjoying it for just that, not so much hyper analyzing the lyrics. Which I kind of hyper analyze the lyrics more for this because it's kind of what we try to do here. Um, but still, to me, it was just kind of more of a hot take on toxic masculinity, not so much Gavin's personal mindset. I think he was kind of just poking fun. But I will say, fuck him for cheating on Gwen Stefani.
Boo!
He really
Fuck
fucked
him.
that one up. So I gave this a 3.2, but I gave
way to fumble that.
I gave old Gavin a 0.0 for cheating on Gwen Stefani.
Yeah. -5.
Funny story. So my supervisor at work is Stephanie.
He fucking cheated
and he cheated on Stephanie. But no, I was listening to shame on freaking Spotify DJ X. He was like, that was a song by Gwen Stefani. So now every day at work, not every day, but most of the time at work, my supervisor, like I said, is Stephanie. Be like, yeah, go ask Stefani. See what I did there?
There you go.
A little sleight of hand.
That's all right.
That will move us on to track number 9. We have Monkey. I have the runtime just a smidge over 4 minutes, 4 minutes, 1 second. So this is kind of falling off of a similar song with a meh vibe, but this is one that kind of, I don't want to say it fell off a cliff or anything, but this is kind of one that kind of missed the mark a little bit for me. Parts of it are solid, but if I was going to pick an outlier, this would be it.
Can't fall off the cliff if it never gets going.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that because, like I said, there is parts of it it's fine.
Sure.
It does carry a lot of energy and it maintains that distinctive Bush sound that we've got throughout the album. This one is a little lighter though, but it still has a raging guitar and a solid chorus. The delivery of the "We Don't Mind" repeated multiple times with the music swelling is very good. That's probably the saving grace for the track. Similar to the last track though, I didn't take this one too serious either. It's a fun song. I'd read a few places that it's about cults, but I'm not exactly sure. But it kind of sounds like a brainwashing theme, especially with the everyone just wants stuff and doesn't use their their gravy brains to be something better. Sucker monkey on a drip sounds like being drugged up or commercially conditioned. A commercially conditioned idiot. It is what it is. Nothing really spoke out to me on this track though, which is kind of why I'm standing by a meh rating. I didn't give this a good rating. I'm hoping I'm not gonna offend you or any of the listeners. I gave this a 2.7.
Okay.
I didn't offend you, that's for sure, because with that reaction.
I went higher.
Oh, that's fine, because I went
but not much.
Pretty low.
Not much higher.
Okay.
2.7.1. Yeah. Song gets going right away with some very scratchy guitar, steady drum beat as the guitars begin to layer. Also notice some slight layering and distortion into the vocals. The vocals come in short, controlled bursts. And the mind is all, we kiss everything, we say we love, it's the skin we're in. You're a retrograde, a vacancy. You're the one I love. The Hate in Me. The guitars become more loud and pronounced on the refrain. We don't mind. Yeah, get it, Mike. We don't mind.
With the music in the back,
Yeah.
like backing that, it's solid.
Yeah, that's the best part of the song.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
When I delivered it, but I did not sing it because I was like, I can't remember, and my music's not playing in my ear right now. I'm bad about that.
It just timed up well for me.
We don't mind.
I was gonna say there's gonna be a song later on where I'm like, ooh, I want to talk about it, but like, it takes a while to get going, so I'm gonna be fucking way ahead of the game on this one. Anyway, this leads us right into the chorus that is kind of nonsense, but for what it is, it's not bad. It's very well presented. I'm a monkey on a drip, suck a monkey on the drip. I'm a monkey on the drip, suck a monkey on the drip.
Suck a monkey on the drip.
Suck a monkey on the drip. I'm gonna suck the monkey's drip on his dick. At 2:28, the music softens. The guitars and the drums have a tempo that give a sense of escalation. And Gavin delivers my favorite moment of the song, actually. You take these pretty photos. When will you be worthy of your good side? Where will you be when the clouds break? And it all takes just a little more than you have. I think that's really fucking good, like, writing. I really like that little bit of lyrics right there. But it doesn't last long. It's only like a little 20-second snippet of the song. I'm just like, fuck, man, give me like 45 seconds of that. I would love that.
I would suck a monkey strip for that.
I would fucking come back to that right away. I'm hearing it in my ear right now, and I'm just like, that's nice. You take these pretty photos. When will you be worthy of your good side? Like, that
is pretty good. Can't deny that.
Anyway, really bouncing between the soft and the hard with a burst of instrumentation in the middle of Gavin's delivery. We then go to another refrain and a final extended chorus that gets especially erratic before the guitars spin out. Overall, I'm not crazy about this song, but I am impressed with how well it works. And there are moments that I genuinely really enjoy. I would love to see more of these in the song, specifically like the part that I listed. I give this a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not.
Yeah, we weren't worlds apart, but yeah,
it's not hitting high marks in the fucking book, but it's got moments.
Yeah.
On to track number 10. We have Glycerine. It's a single. This is the single, coming in at 4 minutes and 26 seconds.
The single for Mr. Shane.
This is very much that song that people would know by Bush. And despite its possible overexposure, it's still like my favorite song by them.
Really? Okay.
The writing is very sincere and focused. All of it feels deliberate and with purpose. Not a moment of this song is wasted, I feel like. The droning guitar, like, it just fades in, followed up by the 2 electric guitars as Gavin comes in very soft on his delivery. Must be your skin, I'm sinking in. Must be for real. It's now I can feel. I don't want this, remember that. I'll never forget where you're at. Like, there's some very good lines in this. It's at the end of this line that the distorted guitar can be heard before the violin and cello start to come in. It'll think.
It'll think. Mind of its own.
I don't fucking know what that says. I think they make for a great inclusion on the song. The second chorus has the same as the first, but with so much more. Don't let the days go by. I like the line, like, could have been easier on you. I couldn't change, but I wanted to. It should have been easier by 3, our old friend Fear, and you and me. Glycerine, glycerine. The guitar on the second chorus comes in with a loud buzz as the strings really plant themselves in the song. It might just be clear, simple, and plain. Well, that's just fine. That's just one of my names. at 4:03 through to the end is an instrumental outro with a lot of string work. Kind of wild, this song having no drums or bass guitar. It works like as well as it does without these key elements of a song. Um, the writing on the song is fantastic with so many great lines to pick from. It's a classic song that, despite it being in my rotation for as long as it has not gotten old to me and has really only kind of gotten better with age. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Worthy.
Yeah.
So we haven't let the cat out of the bag yet, and we're on track 10 of 12. We saw Bush live, me and you together.
Yeah, we did.
With Chevelle.
With Deftones.
No, it was with Chevelle.
Yeah, it was Chevelle. Sorry, I was thinking. I did see Deftones outdoors at the same venue, so.
Okay.
Around the same time.
Yeah.
So.
But I remember this this track specifically.
Yeah, I was in the shitter.
Yeah, and I didn't touch. No, I don't think it was this one.
It wasn't.
Because there was a time where Gavin came out and he was very sweaty, as he should be, and I got to fist bump him as he came into the crowd.
You fist bumped him?
I put my hand up and he touched me.
You're like,
I've been touched by Gavin. Yeah. I seen him at the trough, the piss trough.
Yeah, his dick was bing.
I held it for him.
It only took 2 fingers.
Took both my hands.
One finger, one thumb.
Get over here.
Got a machine dick.
Big you. The only complaint I have about the mixing of the album is I could totally see this as the final track because it is super iconic and it's one, if not the only one, that's really personal and opening up, and it's a very deep track. And like you said, it's maybe been overplayed, overshared, whatever you want to call, but it's still it's a solid song. And I think back to me and you being at that show and him singing it, and he let Gavin let the crowd sing it back to him a few times, and I remember just being like such a surreal feeling to hear that. Like I can actually picture it. I can't remember what it sounded like, but I kind of can artificially make it up in my mind. And it was a great moment. I'm so glad I witnessed that. And they played. I mean, I don't know when that show was. What was that? 2015 maybe.
2015.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it was solid. And I mean, they played all their hits. They weren't like, we're going to just play our new stuff, which I don't know if they even had a new album out at the time. But it was still just solid. And I remember that for what it's worth. That was top tier. But I do kind of wish this maybe was the final track, even though the final track on this is fine. This was one, though, that it's so heartfelt and it's different. It's completely different than anything else off the album, which is nice. It showcases Gavin's unique vocals, which I already kind of, we already kind of knew it at this point. But he's got a crazy range. But this was just such a quiet song. And like you said, no percussion. It's a totally different look of the band Bush. Bush, not Bush. The best verse to me, and you highlighted it too, don't let the days go by. Could have been easier on you. I could have changed. I couldn't change, though I wanted to. I like that line a lot. I couldn't change even though I wanted to. That's just really powerful. Should have been easier by 3. Our old friend Fear and you and me. Glycerine. It's, like I said, you touched on it too. It's the first song. Well, no, there was other songs with strings. But this one is that the strings are more evident, more prominent.
That was February 15th, 2015.
Okay.
So like
February? That was,
yes.
No, that was an outdoor show. There's no way that was February.
It was February. I have it right here.
Let me see.
Look at that. Maybe we were having a warm year that year. I don't fucking know. That's what it says. I'll
look it up with Chevelle, Bush and Chevelle.
Okay.
It was at Kemba though.
All right. But
it was outside though.
Kemba was LC beforehand. So.
Anyways, the song was written about have a little bit of another discretion between whatever hoe Gavin was with. But it was either about his relationship with his girlfriend at the time, a model named Jasmine Lewis. But I also saw, and this is probably more confirmed because this was on an episode of Howard Stern. Gavin himself.
February 15th.
Jesus, that was outdoors though.
That was a fucking warm fucking February.
That's crazy. Anyways, on an episode of Howard Stern, he said the song was about a girlfriend of him named Susie, which presumably was Susie DeMarchi. He had been in a relationship with her, and she was a singer for the Baby Animals. And also, INXS, I'd consider her as a replacement for Michael Hutchins. Not sure. I'm not a big INX fan. Anyways, the title comes from the explosive application of glycerine to stabilize nitro. Rossdale also said the song was about how love was like a bomb, which really makes that "She Falls Around Me" lyric make sense.
Sure.
And I like that a lot. 4.5 overall. It's not one of my favorite singles, but I can't deny its contribution to pop culture and just the overall. Is that what you gave it?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. No, it's a phenomenal song. Let's do My Bladder a favor and take one break, and we will come back.
Final break.
And wrap up this episode. All right, we're back with Alien, track number 11. I have the runtime is 6 minutes, 34 seconds. This is a track that sounds like something I know I've been talking about Nirvana, but this is something, and I'm curious to see what you think. This sounds like something Hum would put out because it's very spacey. I mean, with the title Alien, outer space vibes, whatever. Musically, even the distorted guitar and soft percussion reminds me a little bit of Hum. Even the opening verse, the satellite comes and goes, we give each other all we know, in silence we still talk. By the light of the stereo, we waltz. It definitely sounds like something Hum would put out. What do you think about that? Do you make that correlation at all, or no?
A little.
I mean, it might be a little bit of a stretch, but I see it slightly.
I'd say a little, yeah.
This one I dare. It's almost more. It hits me more a little bit more than Glycerine, and maybe it's because I've heard Glycerine so much. I didn't give it as high as rating as Glycerine because I think Glycerine is just a pop culture song. It's an iconic song. You can't really top that with this. But I do consider this a sleeper hit. It's got a really long runtime. It is the longest track on the album, 6.5 minutes. I mean, that's very lengthy. But some of that kind of, I want to say the final track that we're going to cover is more of a bonus track, more of a hidden track. So some of that lengthy runtime is just quietness that leads into track number 12. But I like that the lyrical line with the music swelling, and it kind of brings the energy with the delivery of, and she comes to take me away. She's all that I needed. I don't breathe another lover. No. It's great. And also just there's a little bit of repetitiveness in it, but I'm an alien, you're an alien. And it's a beautiful rain, beautiful rain. I'm an alien, you're an alien. It's a beautiful rain, it's a beautiful rain. There's also some layering of Gavin's vocals, which I think is, I don't want to say it's prominent in the other tracks, but I did notice it here and there in the other tracks. It's quite a journey from start to finish, but it carries a lot of energy. It changes its tune a little bit here and there. I didn't give it a crazy high score, but again, I kind of did with a 4.1. I do like this one. I think it's just, I don't want to say it gets stale because I don't think it does.
It's just long.
It's very long, and they could cut it down to maybe 4 minutes, and it would be a completely different animal. But I do like it, so.
Okay. The song differentiates itself from the rest of the album pretty fast with how slow and quiet the song starts off. Being only bass guitar for about the first 20 or so seconds, the guitar slowly comes in, followed by vocalization crying out from Gavin, taking over a minute before any real vocals come in. And you can faintly hear some very light backing vocals in parts of the verses. Satellite comes and goes, give each other all that we know. In silence we still talk, by the light of the stereo waltz. And will you rain down in your cinematic love truck? The guitars swell, leading us into the chorus as the drum starts to crash down. And she comes to take me away. She's all that I needed. I don't breathe another lover. No. Some of the instrumentation on the song kind of reminds me a little bit of Hum, particularly in the slower moments. 3 minutes in, The music really pops on the bridge. I'm an alien. You're an alien. It's a beautiful rain. A beautiful rain. The closing vocals layer. Beautiful rain, alien. Beautiful rain, alien, alien. Alien repeats, followed by some heavy breathing as the instrumentation winds down, but takes about a minute before the song properly comes to an end. This song, to me, feels like a companion piece to Glycerine. It almost feels like a yin to its yang. You know what I mean? I feel like they are a great way to close out the album. Another case of solid writing and juxtaposition between the soft and the heavy moments. I gave this a 4.3 out of 5. So it almost reaches Glycerine, but not quite. Not quite. Glycerine is just a little bit more.
As it should be, though.
But at the same time, Glycerine is a whole fucking 2 minutes shorter. So it's like, you're saving me time here. You know what I mean?
Cut to the chase, okay?
Well, like, and if you think about it, like, there's about, like, a solid, like, minute of build-up before the song really takes off, and there's a solid minute of die-down whenever the song ends. So, I mean, it's like, it kind of makes sense to me, like, right there in the middle.
Let me get my scissors out. I'll cut this down.
So, yeah, and I didn't want to show my hand too early that, like, I thought this reminded me of Home. This reminded me of, like...
Yeah, you played it out, and I was like...
Shit.
He doesn't feel the same way as me.
No, it reminded me of Apollo from from the one we reviewed.
Yeah.
Downward is Heavenward.
Yeah.
I could totally see that.
Yeah.
And potentially some off of
You'd Prefer an Astronaut?
Yeah, but I didn't take the time to go through.
It reminded me more of You'd Prefer an Astronaut because that's the more familiar and it's very spacey.
Sure.
I always thought, You'd Prefer an Astronaut.
Yeah.
But Hum is a very spacey sound. But enough about Hum.
On to track number 12. We have Ex-Girlfriend coming in at 45 seconds. Song opens with what sounds like a moose or something bellowing. Then
little fat cow.
Yeah, followed up in German.
That's my ex-girlfriend.
Followed up in German with a 1, 2, 3, 4. The guitar.
Oh, you're not gonna say it in German?
No, I'm not gonna try. The guitar, bass, and drums come in full force along with the vocals. You only call me when you're down. You only call me when you're down. You only call me when you're down. You only call me when you're down.
Way to go take the whole fucking lyrics.
And that's pretty much it. Very quick, very short punk-esque bonus track. I give it a 2.4 out of 5. Seems like a very low score, but there just isn't much to this track. It is what it is. Full send. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not going to add much to it because that's really it. You only call me when you're down is the only lyrics. I respect it because,
Well, you're not going to quote the fucking German lyrics, bud.
No, it's Ins will dreh
Nice.
Wiener Schnitzel. I don't know.
Guggenheim.
Wiener Schnitzel at 7:30, let me tell you.
Beerfest.
But I'm pretty sure Ex-Girlfriend is more of a hidden track on the backside of Alien.
That's probably why, like, Alien took so long to wind down.
Yes, exactly. And I didn't notice that till today. But I like the structure better than the last hidden track we did, which was check it out on the channel. Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. She had a little bit of a bonus track hidden in there. And I like the structure of this one better because it was shorter, cutting to the chase. And this was a lot shorter than the other, what was it, Your Place, I think was the name of the track on the Alanis Morissette album. But there's not a whole lot to pick from. I'm yawning just thinking about it.
Boo!
I gave it a pretty low score too. I gave it a 2.4 just because there's not a lot of meat there, but it is short and it's, I don't know. Some of the songs do kind of tag on to relationships, so I see it. I feel like it was more of a fuck you coming from Gavin to his ex-girlfriend more than anything.
Sure.
So it is what it is. That is it for this week's album, though. Closing thoughts. What do you think?
Closing thoughts. There was only like one or two parts where it kind of lulled for me, but the thing was it would be like good, lol, good, lol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was never like good, lol, good, lol. Like it never dragged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if even the lulls weren't even that fucking bad.
No.
So, yeah, I thought this was a solid listen and a nice refresher, especially for an album that I was familiar with back in the day, but as time kind of went on, like you said, I didn't listen to it as much. Aside from one or two tracks, it's about
here and there, yeah.
So, no, overall, good album and a really impressive first outing from the band.
Yeah, 100% for a debut album. They really hit a home run with this one. The follow-up album, Razorblade Suitcase, we both have like the hiccups. It's from the alcohol we've been drinking. Razorblade Suitcase is all right. There's a couple songs on it that are pretty stellar too. But yeah, this is hard to top, especially for a debut album. I mean, it's very good. I'm in the same boat with you. Like it hit a little bit of a low spot here and there, but it was nothing that fell off a cliff. Nothing I would really skip if I was listening to the album. But there's definitely highs off of it because I mean, you had 5 singles that were just top tier, really solid tracks. But like I said, this is an album that I bought 2 physical copies of in my lifetime, and I would maybe even consider buying a vinyl copy of it just because it is such a good album from cover to cover. This is one of the albums, and we've been doing a lot of them lately where I would listen to them cover to cover. I mean, we've covered here recently Jonathan Bree, When the Curtains Close, After the Curtains Close. That was one that I would listen to cover. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, cover to cover. It doesn't really, like, even the lows, they fit the album.
Yeah.
We did Tom Petty, Wildflowers. That was one. It's lengthy, but still good where I wouldn't really skip anything. There's one more that's slipping my mind that we did. I can't remember. Anyways, this is one of those albums, though, where it's like as a piece, a whole piece. I mean, there's been a lot of albums we've done throughout the show where it would go as a whole piece. It's very good. And this is definitely one of those albums where even if there's a little bit of a low spot, if I had the CD on, I wouldn't be like, oh, no, you have to skip track 6 or whatever have you. This is one that it's like
I may not stick around for the bonus. But
I can suffer through this. But yeah, solid album. Like I said, I've bought 2 copies of it in my lifetime. Let's get to the bonus though, because we're running kind of lengthy on this one.
Okay,
take it away.
You take it away because I have a lot of the lyrics listed here, and I don't want to step on your toes. I don't mind being redundant. So go ahead.
So for the bonus, Shane selected All the Debts I Owe by the band Camp with 2 A's. Gotta include those 2 A's. Just like when we did the MF Doom, you better capitalize that shit. I had the runtime at 3 minutes, 13 seconds. It's an interesting pick. I like the pick, though. It's a very interesting sound. I don't know what you really classify the genre as. It sounds kind of old-timey, but new age at the same time. I love the strumming of the acoustic guitar. It's very fast-paced with the vocals a little bit slower. Like the music and the vocals kind of separate each other in the speed of delivery. And I kind of like that. It's a unique sound. We've talked about it before. I know I've touched on it before. It's a nice showcase of the vocal range. I'm not sure the lead singer of Camp. I don't know if do you have his name? No. I meant to look it up, but I did not. The opening verse is very powerful and had me really curious. Honey, honey, get the kids in the car now. Put the cash in the trunk, get the keys, let's go. Hit the biggest bank in Chicago, for all I had were the thieves. You know. Remember the thing I told you 3 years, 2 moons ago. Promise I'll be right behind you, but you're going to die if you don't hit the road. Track tells an excellent story. It's an excellent sad story. It's a beautiful sad song, and I'm a sucker for songs like that. There's also a line, 3 kids in the back. 3 kids in the back of the caddy. She said, come here and kiss your wife. And I know you're real mad at me, but you're on your way to some kind of life. Daniel, John, and Abby, promise me you'll treat your mother nice. It's very... Yeah,
Save me some here.
I'm glad you... No, I'm going to step on all your toes. Get your fingers on the ground.
You're like, you chose to refrain,
yeah,
right?
You chose this fucking... You going to lay in your bed and over Hannah Whitaker?
To her meat's feet.
Yeah. Stuck on the little sausage toes you got there. That's too far.
That's all right. We'll cut that out.
Hell, we will. The final verse is delivered with the sense of defeat. At least that's kind of how I took it. And you know you'll miss me. I'm barely 50. Ain't coming home. Ain't coming with me or all the debts I owe. Don't have to kiss me. Just bear with me. And I'll be back someday, I hope. Oh, I hope. I hope. It's a touching song about kind of like, for me, it's life's unfinished business. Regrets, obligations, whatever have you. To me, it kind of just, it's a father, I'm going to gender vocalize it. It's a father who's kind of just trying to make a better life for his kids. I mean, it sounds like he's robbed a bank to kind of just like set his family up. But for me, I pull away that and I just kind of touch it with, it's a parent that's like kind of telling them that I'm not going to be with you. And that was like pretty touching. Just because our circumstances, both losing a parent, it's very tough. So it kind of aligned with that, even though the song tells a little bit of a different story. But that line, "Ain't coming with me or all the debts I owe." It's like your final. I think when you die, there's a sense of freedom that you're just like, well, I'm dead now. I don't have to worry about anything. And I really think it's negative in a sense, but it's also really pretty. And there's a sense of I don't know what's the right word I'm looking for here. I can't think of the word. I was just thinking of it the other day. But you're just like, I don't know, you're lifted up because you don't really have to worry about a lot of things. Because yeah, you're going out this way. You're dying or whatever. In this case, I think it's more of he's either gonna like die for his his actions, or he's just gonna go to jail and never see his family again. But either one, you're either dead or you're kind of like the living dead if you're just a prison man for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But it's very bittersweet, and it's a reflection on mortality, responsibility, and the choices we make. Um, I mean, he made a choice to like kind of set his family up right, and his 3 kids in the car, but they're kind of never gonna see him again. Is kind of the way the song goes out, and it's very exhausted. It's a solid, beautiful track. I give it it says here I gave it a score out of 10, which would be pitiful, but I gave this a 4.2 out of 5, not a 4.2 out of 10. So.
Okay.
I'm sorry I took all your lyrics, but you
left cleaned
me
up.
You left me with no choice.
That's all right. That's all right. You like this though?
I do like it.
Okay. All right.
I'm curious to hear anything else by them. You said you were listening to them.
Yeah.
A little bit, but no, it's very interesting music.
At no point was I like consistently good. I don't think anything I've heard so far tops this, but like it's close enough. You know what I mean? Acoustic guitar and vocals open up the song right away, very upbeat and fast with it fits given its lyrics having an urgency to them. Honey, honey, get the kids in the car now. Put the cash in the trunk, get the keys, let's go. The biggest bank in Chicago. For all it had, we're the thieves you know. The banjo starts to come in and plays very well off the guitar. Very good interplay with the vocals too, as the guitar and the banjo quiet when he sings, keep your lights down, keep your voice down low, before gradually picking up for the next verse. And I know you're real mad at me, but you're on your way to some kind of life. Daniel, John, and Abby, promise me you'll treat your mother nice. Really great like vocals, doing some real storytelling with the lyrics. Watch the show Task. This show encapsulates this song encapsulates that show, because that's what this is from. That's where I heard this.
Really? Okay.
And I was like, ooh.
And that's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have that. Yeah, me and
then like
and the old lady need to watch that.
Once you like watch the show, you'll be like, oh yeah,
it hits the nail on the head.
Oh yeah, there's a reason they picked this song. Anyway, about 2 minutes in, the drumming starts to thump, leading into the outro. And I know you'll miss me. I'm barely 50, ain't coming with me for all the debts I owe. This repeats, and the music like starts dropping out at the end of it, letting the vocal delivery really close out the track. I think this is a beautiful country indie song with some really great storytelling and a charming level of simplicity to it, of just vocals, guitar, banjo.
Yeah, it's not a lot. Doesn't overdo it.
Like, you made a banger with just that. And I gave this a 4.3 out of 5.
We're close.
Yep. So yeah, next week's album.
Tell us what we're doing.
Is going to be AM by the Arctic Monkeys.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. I like a cold monkey.
Yes, sir.
Brass monkey.
Yes, that chili monkey.
All right, bonus track will be The Great Divide by Noah Kahan.
The Great Divide. Okay.
you familiar with that song?
I'm not.
Okay, good.
But
I just heard it the other day.
I
was thinking you wouldn't be familiar because I don't know anything else by him. But I think that will do it for this week's episode. Sorry we ran a little late on this one.
It's all right.
We were doing really good, but
got drunk.
But I think we held it together pretty good.
No, we did.
So
could be worse.
Until next time.
Don't work too hard now.